Did you know that you don't need to go into your browser to access Google Drive? A few months ago, I found out that you could actually have your Google Drive be a part of your native Windows experience. Let's dive right into how that can happen.
All right, so if we go right here and press Download Drive for Desktop, we can dive right into what this application is all about. So if we press this right when it finishes downloading, you can add the application as a shortcut to your desktop if you want. I personally think that it's fine to do that if that's what you want. I'm not the kind of guy to do it, but I'll do it for the purposes of this video. It'll install the drivers really quick. And then once it's installed, it'll give you a little prompt here for any external drives you have. But if we close this out, go to the bottom right here, this is always going to be showing in your Google Drive on the bottom right. So if we go to the settings here, and we go to preferences, you can safely back up your files based on your different hard drives. It's similar to what like OneDrive does. But for me, what's important to notice here is you can either stream files or mirror files. So the two different meanings of this is that streaming files, like you store all of the drive files in the cloud only, and you can access it from like a virtual drive on your computer. So what that means is essentially right here, this Google Drive folder that I have pinned is the virtual drive that's here. So it's not really a hard drive that's there. And then the mirror is you actually store the drive files in the cloud and on the computer. So when it mirrors each other, and you can access files from a folder on your computer, and all files are automatically available offline. So if I go into a different Word document here, I can actually browse in here, save it within here. So for me, let's do something like make a work or something like that. Then we can press save. And then if I close this out, go back here, it's a folder called work, we can actually edit non-Google stuff within the Google Drive. So CU is editing Microsoft Office files in Google Drive. Now you can see if others are editing your Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel files, and they can see you. So I am editing a Microsoft Word document in Google Drive right now. This is awesome. This is something that really does help you. If you're somebody like me who was using OneDrive before, but maybe wants to go completely Google for the product set that you have, I mean, this could save you some money. You know, I think Microsoft 365 is great, but if Google has maybe cheaper storage or safer storage for some reason, this application gives me the option to utilize it and be okay with it, because before I was like, I don't really think I can store things on my computer in the same way that OneDrive kind of integrates with my storage there. So I'm actually really excited about this. I'm a huge fan of what this application does. And obviously you could safely back up everything to Google Drive by, like I said earlier, adding a folder, for example, here, and storing it all on the Google Drive there as well, similar to what you can do with OneDrive. I want to point out the fact that if we see something like my work SSD in the Google Drive here, so the way that a lot of these drives works and the way that a lot of things are stored is, for example, on a timeline like this, I have my template, and there's a lot of different things here that if we go to the project, all these media library files are based off of this work drive SSD, but it's really based off of this letter here. So it's my F drive. So what happened is I installed some RAM the other week and I unplugged everything. And then when I booted my computer back up, this Google Drive took over the F drive. So if we go into disk management here, if we right click on this, we can change the drives and letter paths. But what happened was I couldn't change this because it was labeled like, I think H at the time, back to F, because Google Drive was taking it up. So the only solution for something like this would be to go to Google Drive here, go to your settings, and then what you need to do is you go to preferences and disconnect the account. So right now you can see that it's the H drive. So if I disconnect the account, and if I kind of refresh this, so I exit out of this and go back in, now it's going to give me the option to change the letter and path to the H drive. And then after we changed it to whatever we wanted to change it, because I don't want to keep it as H drive, I can then go back and sign in once again. And that is pretty much the only way to solve a problem like that. I did want to call that out because it's an issue that can definitely come up if you ever take any of your drives out and put them back in and then Google Drive takes over the name.
If you guys like this video, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. If you click the link right here, it'll lead you to all of my other videos on productivity apps, which I know you'll enjoy. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.